Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that is dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. Today I want to talk about why diets fail. If you're here watching this video and the videos on my channel, chances are at some point in your life you have tried one of the popular fad diets of the day that you've seen advertised on TV, advertised in magazines, etc., etc. Maybe you've seen some people at work talking about the latest health trend that they're trying or whatever it is, and you decided to give it a try, and 9 times out of 10 you probably failed at it at some point or it didn't work for you, and now by whatever reason you're here on this channel watching this episode, and I'd like to weigh in with my thoughts and my opinions as to why these diets ultimately fail. Okay, so here we go. Number one, eliminating whole food groups is unsustainable. I was on many diets in my day, and one of the most popular ones that I was on was the Atkins diet, and then eventually I switched over to paleo. Now, Atkins is very low carb, high fat, eliminates a lot of food groups, particularly things like breads and cereals and desserts and whatnot, and sugar. And then when I went into the paleo diet, it was pretty much the same thing, except it went a step further and eliminated things like beans and rice and anything with grains, sugar and a lot of different oils and unnatural fats, you name it. It was very, very restrictive. And I would lose a little bit of weight on it, and then I would find myself in a situation where maybe people were having pizza or they were having burgers for a cookout or something, and whatever the case may be, even if I was at a restaurant, that they weren't exactly paleo or they weren't exactly going with the Atkins diet. And so I would inevitably cheat on my diet because I had nothing around me at the time to eat. And this would cascade into definitely a long-term effect that led me to giving up the diet. Now, some people watching that out there might say, well, it's probably just because you didn't have enough willpower. But ultimately what I found out is that eliminating some of these whole food groups didn't work for me. And that's what it's all about. It's about what works for you and what you can sustain. Some of these diets, as I'm going to get into my next point, have even bigger problems when they eliminate whole food groups. Because the second point here is that some may even lead to long-term health problems. Take veganism, for example. And I'm not here to pick on people who are vegan. If you choose to eat vegan, that's your choice. All the power to you. Just go ahead on YouTube or search some stories on the internet, and you could see a whole bunch of ex-vegans who come out and talk about how dangerous the diet was for them because they eliminated whole food groups like meat and fat. And you'll see plenty of people who were ex-vegans who have had horrible health problems that had to eventually stop the diet and go back to eating meat. It's the same thing with certain people that went on the keto diet and they discovered that their cholesterol went skyrocketing through the roof, and they ended up gaining weight and they felt horrible. What I'm trying to say is that some of these diets may not be sustainable. And what I found is, for me, is they weren't sustainable at all when I eliminated whole food groups. And if the diet you can't stick to the diet, then what is the point of even being on it anyway? It's obviously not going to work for the long term. Number three, they don't produce fast enough results. I'm not going to tell you that intermittent fasting and OMAD is going to get you to lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks or 2 months. It may even take you a little bit longer than a year, for example, on something that large of a scale of weight that you need to lose. But usually when people start intermittent fasting, and particularly OMAD, they notice a really nice pop, especially in the beginning of weight loss. If they don't have that much water weight to lose, sometimes it's a little bit lower. But this is what gets people motivated and gets people happy, is when they start losing weight at a pretty even pace every single week. That motivates them to keep on going. And if you're in something like, say, Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers, for example, and you're working hard, and after a couple of months you've lost maybe 10 pounds, that's not really going to probably be enough for most people to continue on with it, especially when they consider the time, the effort, and the expense that's associated with some of these diets. Fasting works. It works fairly quickly, although everyone is a little bit different. But I've never had the results that I've had on OMAD that I've had with any other diet that I've ever tried, and it worked very well for me, and it worked fast. And the best part is I didn't eliminate any food groups, and I wasn't depriving myself of any particular food item that I liked. Number four, all of these diet systems today are pushing unlimited snacks. well, maybe not unlimited, maybe that's a bad word to use, but they are all pushing this idea of snacking. At some point, snacking became a major thing in this country, and now all of these diets, because they know snacking is so ingrained in American human culture, they've all had to work that into their systems too. And whether it's vegan, whether it's keto, whether it's Atkins, whatever diet you want to think of, there is a whole subgroup of food categories out there that you can find at your local grocery store that'll say vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly, keto friendly, doing the Whole30 diet. This idea that in between our meals, we're going to keep snacking. So in other words, yes, you're going on the diet and you're following it, but you're eating all day. This is not sustainable either, and this does not produce any sort of really good results. It keeps spiking your insulin levels, and it trains your body to be hungry and crave food all of the time, all day. This is a horrible practice. And snacking, as I've made a video about on this channel, snacking is a surefire way to get you to gain weight. Number 5, they don't teach you to take charge of your eating habits or to deal with your food addictions. If you have a serious food addiction, like say sugar, or maybe you drink way too much coffee, or whatever the case may be, maybe you eat too much carbohydrates or whatever it happens to be, most of these diets don't deal with your food addictions, and binging included. And if you have problems with this, this is going to be a major hurdle no matter what diet you choose. So self-discovery is key here. This is why you got to find out what works for you and find it out pretty quickly. If you have a problem with binge eating, call a center or call for some professional help to help you deal with your binge eating. If it's psychological eating, find someone to talk to, find someone that will help you. If there's a particular food item that you're addicted to, you have to do what you have to do to get rid of it and eliminate it from your diet. I know that and one of the reasons I made a commitment this month to eliminate Diet Coke is that I was using too much of it as a crutch for when I started to get a little bit hungry on my OMAD plan. I still lost weight, and I'm not diabetic, and it hasn't, as far as I know, been spiking my insulin levels, but it overall is just not a healthy diet. So it had to go. On top of it, I'm consuming way too much caffeine. I know it's taxing for my heart, for my adrenal glands. It's not healthy. And I was taking it to an unhealthy level, so it had to go. For some of you, it may be drinking. For some of you, it may be smoking or drugs, or it could be just something as crazy as pizza. Maybe you eat way too much pizza during the week. It would help to know what those food addictions are and what those problem and trigger areas are in your life and deal with them instead of just replacing it with something else. Number 6, they focus on weight loss and not your overall health. Think about that. The last time you've seen a Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig commercial, have they ever talked about how, yes, Bill lost 30 pounds, but also his A1C levels regulated out, or his blood sugar was fine, or the fact that his body fat percentage went to a really nice level, or that he added on 2 percentage points of lean muscle mass? No. All they do is they focus on the person, whether or not they can fit into skinny jeans, if you can see their six-pack abs, and how much numbers as far as the weight loss is concerned. Now, sometimes as a society, we're a little bit vain in that sense, and we want to see results. We live in a result-driven economy and a world, and I get that. But there's also more to it than weight loss. I can be skinny and be death. I could be skinny, let me re-say that again. I could be skinny and be near death. I could be having lots of disease in my body, but just because you could see my six-pack abs, don't think for a second that I'm extremely healthy. You need to go and see your doctor regularly, get the blood work done that you need to have done, and work with your doctor to make sure that you are in perfect health. Yes, managing your weight is part of it, but it's not all that it is. And a lot of these popular diets put all the emphasis on just losing some pounds, and that's that, instead of developing healthy habits for you to enjoy over the course of your lifetime. That is what is more important than whether or not you have tight buns or whether you have Instagram-worthy pictures for your Instagram account. Number 7, they don't factor in the individual. In other words, it would be nice, and when I say you should experiment for a little bit on what you can eat and what you can't eat, it would be a really good thing to know for that maybe you can't handle carbs as well as someone else. Prime example is this, is some people go on a vegan diet, for example, and really thrive. They lose weight, they look great, they feel great, all of their numbers are just where they're supposed to be, and it really works for them. And then some people go on that same very diet and their teeth are rotting out, and they actually get fatter, and their health numbers decline, and they develop diabetes. Maybe it didn't work for them quite well, and to the first person, it worked awesome. So that's something that you should know and just experiment with a little bit too. And if it's not working for you, then you have to change your eating habits. But the general consensus with each one of these diets is my way is the right way to go. This is a one-size-fits-all mentality, and there is no other exception, and that this works for everyone. And simply, that cannot be the case. We know this to be true. Okay? That's not going to happen. There is no one-size-fits-all with a diet plan, unfortunately. So it may take a little bit of experimenting and shuffling around to see what foods trigger you, what foods don't, and what foods work best for you. But it would be a little bit of an experiment that is definitely worth doing. And mainstream diets don't offer this. They have no option or no plan to make that happen. And number 8, they don't teach that weight loss is an ongoing process. One thing I've learned about doing this for well over a year now, and as I reflect on my OMAD journey, and today I hit a milestone. I actually hit 60 pounds of weight loss. I reflect and I look back and I notice that at no point did I ever just go on autopilot and say that I've arrived. You never arrive when it comes to your health. It is an ongoing, lifelong process. It's not a 90-day, work really hard at the gym for a few months, just long enough to get your attention span, and then you're good to go for the rest of your life. It doesn't work that way. You have to be proactive. You have to take as much of an active role in your life at every minute of the day. And I don't know about you, but it's easier for me to make one really great decision every day as to what I'm going to eat than it is to make 7, 8 or more decisions as to what I'm going to eat and consume. And that's where OMAD comes in. OMAD has definitely given me the sustainability and everything that I need so that I can adopt this way of eating for the rest of my life. It's not the only way to lose weight. It's not the only way to go about fixing your health. I'll be the first to admit that. But it's one of the most sustainable ways that I have found, and many, many people like myself, some of who are watching this right now, have found to be the same way. You have to go by with what is sustainable and what you could do for the long haul. And any doctor that you talk to will tell you that, which is why most doctors just shrug their shoulders or, have their eyes roll in the back of their head whenever you tell them you're on this diet and you're on that diet. The more extreme it sounds, the more they know that it's something that you're not going to be able to keep for the long haul. You may end up missing key nutrients, you may end up missing whatever, but you need to find a way, a path that you can take that will keep you going for the rest of your life. And for me, that is OMAD. I have healthy protein, fat, and fiber. I have a mix of food groups. I don't overdo it on any one particular food group. I'm not having eggs for breakfast every single day. I have eggs occasionally. I don't have steak every single day. I have steak occasionally. I don't have vegetables exclusively. I have them occasionally. And it all equals out and evens out in a way that is sustainable and keeps my interest and is able to maintain my weight and even get me to a point where if I fluctuate a little bit, I'm still able to go down. Probably can hear the furnace going in the background. I'm in my man cave today. I do apologize for that. But in my opinion, that is my 8 reasons why many diets of today fail. And with that, if you are on one of these, you may probably already have or you will soon experience that. And if you're on this channel right now, you're probably looking for an alternative, and you're probably looking for something that can stick and work for you for the long term and produce the results that you deserve and that you want. And I hope that this encourages you and motivates you to give OMAD a try. And if it does, and you are interested, please check out my other videos on this channel. Learn all about OMAD. There's a lot of other great channels and videos out there too, and I hope you check those out as well. But I hope you realize that this is something that is sustainable for the long term, it's safe, and it is very effective at getting the results that you want. That is it for me for today. I thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you have a very happy OMAD today, and I will see you very soon.